So today is similar, like the last week. It's the arch that's really too low. Last week I touched on how to create a higher arch using the powder and brush. This video is going to be how to create that arch using a pencil. Hey everybody, it's Jasmine, your brow expert. Thank you so much for joining me. So like I said, this video will be about the brow arch. How do you apply a brow arch or make the brow arch using a pencil? Because you like a pencil, and you know what? Not one is better than the other. Clients always ask me that, and it's really about what's comfortable for you. They both give a beautiful look. And the pattern brush, if you tuned in last week, you would see that that can be very effortless as well. You don't have to be feeling like you got to be a makeup artist to try to do that. But the pencil, I will say, is the easiest to get the hang of, to learn if you're just starting to learn how to do your eyebrows. I've been shaping eyebrows for over 25 years and still shaping at the Anastasia Beverly Hills Salon. Some of you guys are new here, so welcome. And my brows have been tattooed a long time ago, but I do use myself as a model so you can see how I'm holding the brush and how, the angle that I think is best if you haven't tried it that way. But most importantly, I bring on these models that I've shaped eyebrows for, and that way you can hopefully relate with them. Right? Share this with anyone that you know can benefit from these tips. So you guys ready? Let's bring on the model and show you guys how to do that arch. Now I've chosen to do just the one eyebrow, partly because, again, I want you to see the difference, but mainly because you can see just by looking at her face that side of the eyebrow is so much lower than the other side. So we always have that one problem brow, right? Mine is this side, and so that is where I'm gonna work on. So I want to quickly show you right now the measurement. Now it's obviously too far down, and the white outline is the correct measurement. I'm showing you that because, to be honest with you, because this end and arch is so far down, you can actually play with it and see how much further out you can go out here. So if you make your arch a little bit further down where the end is, that might work, but the white outline is the correct measurement, which is the pinch of the nose. For some of you that's new to this channel, you know that it's always gonna be the pinch of the nose over the pupil in an angle right here. That is your arch up there, okay? But in this case, it's so much lower, her brows, with really no arch at all. And I'm just going right around the outline to show you with the brush and powder, but today is gonna be about the pencil, like I said. Just to give you an idea, that is the area I'm gonna work on. That outline in that inside that eyebrow is where I'm going to work on. So if you say your eyebrows aren't that low like this brow, but you still would like an arch, and you're here because you want to do the arch with the pencil, the same technique applies. And so that is why I want you to look at this and know that up there, that is where you want to mainly focus on applying the color. Now, it doesn't have to look as artificial, right? If you follow my steps. But it's gonna look like it's purposefully done a little bit, but it's about creating an illusion that your eyes are lifted up a little bit. So keep that in mind. And I'm just gonna fill it in just to give you an idea. Once it's filled in, it doesn't look as funny. Look at that. If you just look at that eyebrow, pretty good, right? It looks fuller. It doesn't look funny as it did with just that outline. So that's what I want you to see. Now the other side, obviously her arch is not as enhanced as well naturally, but she's got more hair there, and the ends and the arch doesn't lay flat as much. Part of that, though, also is because her brow bone, as we age, right here recedes, and the ends go down further and further. So, but one side is not going to go down as far down as the other side, especially if you're a side sleeper and you really just kind of, that the half of your face is on the pillow. That can also sometimes cause that to happen. So I don't know. I think I saw an interview with someone that said that they really trained themselves to sleep on their back head. So I don't know if you could do that. I'm sure you can. She did. Okay, so this is actually a really good before and after for you to look at right now. Even the one that I haven't done the makeup on, it doesn't look as flat because it was properly shaped, And I lifted up some of the hairs here because she had hair growing just really far down, which made it look like this. So the after without any makeup looks pretty good, wouldn't you say? I mean, it looks more shapely. Obviously, the one that I already just shaped and put makeup on looks really, really good because there's that arch. It's naturally full. It's not looking like it's overly done, meaning overly penciled and makeup. So that's what we're trying to do, is not to go too much, right? And so now I'm using the pencil. Now, I showed you that because the up in the front is very important, because if it's lower here, remember, if it's lower here, the arch is kind of enhanced a little bit more. I'm going to use a highlighter first because in this case, I really want to add that lift, that extra lift. And my left eyebrow, again, is naturally lower, so I'm going to focus more on that. So the highlighter, definitely try to put that on first. And notice that I'm going lower up in the front. By adding depth down here, it causes the illusion that your arch is a little higher over at the corner. And so, and I didn't put that much effort up in the front. So I'm going to use that highlighter again and just kind of go up, up, up at that corner and then down, but not too far down. I'm actually going out like I'm going towards the tip of my ear right here, out this way, not dragging it down. So just doing this, it already gives me that lift. So that's why I always say use that pen, use that highlighter. Okay, so now we're going to imagine that arch line. And what I did was go down here. Remember, I went down here to give the illusion that your arch is going over here, because if this front is up high, it just looks too straight across. So now notice what I'm doing right here. I'm going right at the middle and then out, following that outline. Make sure that you create that outline right here. You could even do it right here, like, see, pinch of the nose. That is the outline right here, the arch that is. So once I made that outline, it's really easy because I'm just going inside that outline, right? And if you notice, this is not as high up and exaggerated as I showed you with the first outline, but it's still going up and it's still being raised. And you probably can't tell, but I'm applying very light pressure. I'm not dragging the pencil. I'm not pressing it really hard. Again, keep in mind all the colors will be in the descriptions below. And so here, I'm not starting up in the front. I'm just going right here because up in the front, if you notice earlier, the hair sticks naturally up. So you don't need a lot of focus here, just right here. And then I'm going towards that arched area right there. Remember, pinch of the nose over the pupil, make that little mark. And you're just kind of going towards that mark, right? And then refrain from dragging the pencil down here, go out, out, out. And then that's what I mean by it's easy to go inside the eyebrows. Okay, so the highlighter, I actually don't do it all the time, but sometimes I do put it above the eyebrows just to kind of make the brows pop a little bit more. This is really optional. I even tell this to my clients. But when you have fair skin like this, it's a good idea to do something like this. Just kind of, it shows off the eyebrows. I'm not going to blend in too much with mine just so that you can see how much it can show off, right? So you don't have to use this all the time. You can use a concealer, but it just makes such a big difference. Now, I did use a clear brow gel on her. Look at, again, the before and after. So good. Such a big difference. And I want you to know that the hairs up in the front here, I did use the clear brow gel, right, to just stick up the hair. Now, if you have hair like hers, a little low here. If you do have hair like hers where it's just kind of laying straight or down and you want to kick it up, that's when you can use a brow freeze. I didn't use it on her, but you can use this little guy and it really will stick up the hair up higher. And that's what I want you to also look at. The before and after part of the left, that side of the eyebrow right here. The hairs, look at the hairs, is combed up, not this way, right? So the direction of the hair matters because when it's sticking up this way, it adds to that volume. It makes the brows look fuller. That's why I didn't really have to feel like I had to put that much color inside that area, meaning like lift up the arch like at that first outline where it was really high up, because the hair is sticking up will add that extra arch and fullness. So definitely make sure you use that gel or the freeze gel to make that hair go up even higher. So that's a really good tip, right? So I hope you guys got a little bit of extra tips today. And if you tuned in last week and you're like, I got to do the arch with the pencil, I hope this video did help you. And please let me know in the comment box that it did. Thank you so much for sharing me your thoughts, your constructive criticisms, and just things that you feel like the videos can be better, or I didn't mention certain things, because that always helps me. I do read them and I try to get the videos to be better, really. But the most important thing is that I really want to come across the shaping. And I say this in every video, it's really about the shape, because that is the hardest thing to do, right? It's one thing to just throw on some color or try to pick the right color, or someone just look at you and go, this is your color. It's another to get that shape as good as you can make it, because it's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be even, but we can certainly try to get it as even as possible, right? And in this case, it's very uneven. I understand that. So, some of you might have a very low arch or very low end tail. This is also something that you can still use, the technique that is. And don't forget to share this with anyone that you know that can benefit from these tips. I know we all know someone that has thin brows, uneven brows, that needs some help in just kind of elevating their eyebrows without putting too much effort into it. And that's the other thing I want to devote this channel and try to make it as simple as possible for all of you guys. And again, let me know on that as well if you find that this is kind of, this is something that you guys can feel like you can do. I don't want it to get so complicated where you're like, can't be bothered. I want you to feel like you can do this as well. So thank you. Keep those comments coming. I will write all the products I used in the descriptions, but they will be tagged as well. So if you just tap the screen, you could quickly purchase that. I know all the colors are not in the tag, so that's why the descriptions are there as well. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sticking with me, and I will see you guys right back here.